Salute and welcome everybody to the Fighter Driver channel. I'm Gabriel Oliveira, the fighter driver and enthusiast of motorsport and combat aviation, and this is the third episode of our second mission battling for the skies in War Thunder. In this episode, we will finally find some control setup which is functional and allow us to maneuver a little better in relation to our adversaries. We'll get a plane which is a reasonable fighter, the F2A1 Buffalo, a Navy fighter by the way, and we'll set it as our primary fighter with a custom skin. So let's talk about it and see how it all happened. Weapons clear. So, after a lot of experimentation, I managed to find a keyboard setup which is working better for me. For you to access the control setup, you'll get to the main menu option controls. The setup I'm using is on screen now so you can see it. While that, I'll invite you to watch the two previous videos of this series related to War Thunder, so you can follow all our journey from the beginning in case you didn't watch them yet. The links for the playlist are here in the top right corner and also in this video's description. And if you also like sim racing, you may like our first mission in which we started a new account on Gran Turismo 7 and went through all the steps needed to race competitively there. Links on the top and in the description as well. Now, let's get to the F2A1 Buffalo, which is the fighter I got now. And as you can see, I made a custom skin to it. But differently from everybody, at least as I've been seeing by researching in War Thunder forums, videos on YouTube and etc., I didn't use Photoshop or GIMP to make my skins. Instead, I used CorelDRAW to make them. It worked for me while generating Targa files and brought many advantages over editing it in Photoshop or similar photo editors. Working with a vector drawing tool was much better, at least for me. If you want me to talk about it in detail, leave a comment telling me that. If I get 100 comments asking for it, I'll make a video about making custom skins for War Thunder in CorelDRAW. Now, if you're a beginner in War Thunder, you may be asking, how do I get new planes as I progress in the game? Well, two things will happen. First, you have to research them, and this research tries to simulate the researching military tech that happens in real life. So as you progress and evolve in the game, your technology also evolves through this research. For it, you'll use the research points you make every time you take part in a battle. Once you finish the research for that aircraft, it will be available for purchase. Then you will use the Silver Lions, which is the game's currency, and buy it. And you can start the research for the next aircraft in one of the branches you choose. In my case, as you can see here, I prioritized the research in the Naval Aviation branch of the US Forces. The plane under research now is the F4F Wildcat. But it doesn't stop there, because once you acquire a new aircraft, you can, and it's advisable to, improve the tech resources available for that aircraft, so its performance gets better. Every time you finish a battle, after you get your research points and Silver Lions, the research screen will show up to you and show you the options you have. Part of your research points will be directed to continue the research for the next plane in the branch you chose before, and the other part will be reserved for the current plane's improvements. You can let the game follow in an automatic sequence, or you can choose which items you'll research and implement as it fits better to you. Well, let's get into some action, shall we? Our first mission with the F2A1 and the new control setup. I didn't die, got 1 kill and 5 kill assists. But I also changed the way I'm fighting. Instead of going to the head-on fight, I've decided to stay a little behind and protect our bases against the attack craft as well as bombers. It will help me get used to the new control setup and learn more about this plane's characteristics. Is it a good boomer and zoomer? 2-circle fighter, 1-circle fighter, energy fighter? I'll try to learn through those battles. There is a bomber trying to sneak through the mountains. I'll intercept it. I'll try to avoid pure pursuit and instead just boom and zoom, pass by it, gain altitude, and then come for a new pass, shooting them from above and from the sides as much as possible. Elias join the chase and give it the final blow. After getting some altitude again, I took on this PBY Catalina. It was a little higher than me, so my first pass was from below. I kept climbing after the pass, looking for some potential energy for the next attack against it, but it dived. Then I went after it and started a pure pursuit, which was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I still have to improve my aiming, as you can see, and got a little more discipline. Got hit, but luckily it wasn't bad and managed to get the kill. So now let's climb again and get some situational awareness. And if you are liking this video and want to learn together with me as we evolve and progress in the game, you can show your appreciation by clicking on the like button, leaving a comment telling me your opinion, your suggestions for further videos, sharing this content with your friends, and finally clicking on the subscribe button and activating the notifications bell so you'll receive the notifications when the next videos come in the channel. I appreciate all your support. Another bomber trying to sneak below us, but this time I ripped its wing off. Later on, some allies are involved in the dogfight, so I'll come in and help. I boom and zoom against the first enemy I see, and then extending to the next one I see in the distance, hitting it. And then using an email man to get back in the fight. Actually, the Buffalo is a very good dogfighter. It's very maneuverable, surely not as good as the smaller biplanes as the F3F or the German H100, but it's a good fighter for dogfights at low altitudes. Now, I'll have to improve my skills, my discipline, and learn how to apply the BFM better here. Something I also have to learn and use better is the camera, so I can look around better and get a better situational awareness. At this point, I wasn't using the camera to look around, as you can see. I was just using the keyboard to maneuver the plane and the mouse for fine aiming. Some hits here and there and managed to rip that fighter's wing off. You can see I'm using the vertical a lot and the plane is responding very well at this altitude, but at higher altitudes it doesn't perform so well. It was a very intense dogfight. Now I decide to extend and use those mountains as cover so I can gain some altitude and come around, engaging again, this time from the top and with a better situational awareness. I re-engage, go after an enemy fighter, but another enemy engages me and I see myself in the defensive. The one I was pursuing crashes, but the other is still on my 6 o'clock. I must shake it off. An ally crashes against an enemy right above me and I can get my chaser off my 6. But another enemy hits me, luckily not too bad, we're still on the fight. and then the battle is over. Well guys, that's what we've got for this third episode, again getting better slowly but steady. And if you liked this video and want to learn together with me as we evolve and progress in the game, if you're enjoying those videos and they are being helpful to you anyhow, you can show your appreciation by clicking on the like button, leaving a comment telling me your opinion and your suggestions for further videos, sharing this content with your friends, and finally clicking on the subscribe button and activating the notifications bell so you receive the notifications when the next videos come in the channel and then you don't miss a thing. I appreciate you who followed me so far. Salute, and I see you on the next mission.